all democracies are vulnerable to threats from within. Anytime you have really democratic competition, you create opportunities for anti-democratic forces to win power. You cannot immunize yourself completely from authoritarian threats without ceasing to be a democracy. It's impossible. Now, in an article we're hopefully about to publish in the New York Times, Daniel and I identify 5 different strategies that democracies can use to protect themselves against electoral authoritarian threats. Americans, the United States historically has adopted a liberal or laissez-faire approach in which all perspectives are not only allowed, but encouraged to compete freely. And the basic idea is that electoral competition works like a market. And that if all ideas are openly debated, and if all ideas compete freely, good ideas eventually will prevail over bad ideas. History, I think, suggests that in politics, at least, that approach is pretty naive. The good guys simply do not always prevail in elections. Chavez, Orban, Bukele, going back years, Perón, all won majorities in free elections. For that very reason, many democracies, in fact, most of the world's democracies, take a much more muscular, much less liberal approach. They empower state authorities to ban candidates or to ban political parties that threaten democracy or threaten the rule of law. This is what's commonly known, at least in political science, as a militant democracy approach. It was first, ideas of militant democracy first emerged, understandably, in post-war Germany in the 1940s, but they pretty quickly spread across Europe and across Latin America as well, including to Brazil. Brazil's Supreme Electoral Court, as you know, has vast authority to bar politicians from running for office for corruption, for vote buying, and now recently for attacking democracy. And last year, you all know, the Supreme Electoral Court used that authority to bar Bolsonaro from competing for public office for 8 years. Lots of debate about that, but just think briefly about the contrast between that and what has happened in the last 4 years in the United States. Trump and Bolsonaro were both far-right populists. Both of them governed pretty badly. Both of them lost their re-election bids. Both of them tried to illegally overturn the election. But whereas Trump is running for president again with a pretty good chance to win, Bolsonaro is banned from politics.